Welcome to the tutorial for configuring and managing users. This tutorial will demonstrate how to create and delete users within the Prophet environment, as well as manage their permissions. The Prophet user management automatically syncs with the Niagara AX user service. Thus, any changes that are made within the Prophet interface will be reflected when accessing users in your Niagara AX engineering tool, and vice versa. To begin, make sure that you are logged into Prophet as a Prophet administrator or a user with permissions to access the user management window. In order to open the user management window, click on the user icon in the upper right-hand corner of the application and select the User Management toggle button. The user management window contains two panes, the Users pane and the Attributes pane. The Users pane displays all of the configured Prophet users, their username, their full name, and the group that they are associated with. The Refresh button refreshes the Users pane to update with any changes. The Save All button saves the settings for all of the users in the Users pane. The Delete User button deletes a selected user from the Users pane. The Add a New User button adds a user to the Users pane, while the Duplicate User button will duplicate the selected users in the Users pane. We are going to create a new user and go through all of the attributes in the Users pane. I'm going to click on the Add a New User button. You can see that this creates a new user for us. We will set the username. This is the name that is assigned for logging in to Prophet. It must be a minimum of 1 character. It cannot exceed a maximum of 21 characters. It can contain any combination of letters and numbers. It is case sensitive, and it cannot contain any spaces or special characters. We're going to set the password, which is the personalized password for given users. It must be a minimum of 1 character. It cannot exceed a maximum of 21 characters. It can contain any combination of letters and numbers, and it is also case sensitive. Then we're going to set the full name, first and last name of the user. For our purposes, we will just call him Demo Joe. The navigation file is the navigation that is associated with the selected user. It must be a navigation file residing on the station that Prophet is installed. We're going to leave this field blank for now because we do not have any navigation files currently configured. The design mode specifies whether a user gets taken directly into design mode upon login. The kiosk mode specifies whether a user gets taken directly into kiosk mode upon login. The default save path specifies where this user gets saved by default. We are also going to leave this field blank for now. The ORDS access list specifies the root ORDS that a user has access to. If no ORDS are specified, the user will not have access to any of the data on the station. In order to add a root ORD, we can select this Browse button and surf to the ORD that we want the user to be able to have access to. The environment settings is where all of the visual permissions are handled for the user. This sets permissions for the user such as editing navigation, uploading documents to the station, and managing users. A super user has access to full functionality in Prophet. All of the available permissions are enabled. In order to granulate user permissions, the super user setting has to be unchecked. The Edit Navigation checkbox specifies whether or not the current user has the ability to edit navigation for himself or other users. The Upload Documents tab allows the selected user to upload documents from his local computer onto the Niagara station. The Manage Users checkbox specifies whether or not the selected user has access to the user management window to create new users and edit existing ones. The dashboard settings sets permissions to enable selected users to create and edit dashboards, save dashboards, and delete dashboards. Edit dashboards allows users access into the design mode in which they can build and edit custom dashboards. Once it is checked, there are two more options available. The Save Dashboard setting allows the users to save their configured dashboards. The Delete Dashboard option specifies whether or not the user has the ability to delete dashboards off the station. PWM files are Prophet Widget Media files, which are the components available for building dashboards and graphics within design mode of Prophet. Here we can granulate which components users have access to. We can either select Show All PWM Files, which will populate the user's design mode with all of the available components for building and editing dashboards, or we can granulate and select which components we want the user to have access to. Once we are done configuring the user, we will hit Save Selected. Now we can go ahead and take this user and duplicate it. You can see that all of the configured permissions stay intact. We can select multiple users and edit their permissions at once. For example, if we would like guest, demo, and demo copy to all be super users, we can go ahead and click the super user checkbox and hit Save All. And to close out user management, we can either click on the X in the tab here for the user management window, or click in the user icon in the upper right hand corner and deselect user management. This has been a tutorial for creating and managing users. Thank you.